We also have Group Editor-in-Chief Navika Kumar live from Times Square. Let's cut across.
Thank you very much. And here I am at the most famous place in New York City, which is the Times Square. Times now on at Times Square. And this is a place where you can get the pulse of America, New York City. And here, with all the big billboards, all the screens that are showing up, we're also keeping our eyes on the Prime Minister's address. The Indian diaspora, an extremely important part of American society, with Indian Americans occupying 5 very crucial positions in the Congress, as well as being part of the Senate. Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump is the big topic of debate in America. And if we thought that Indian elections were polarized with, polarizing rhetoric, well, American elections probably taking a leaf out of India's book, and equally polarized, if not more. And America is in the throes of elections, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit at this time, his possibly last bilateral with President Joe Biden, followed with the Quad conversations that took place. Important engagements there because how Kamala Harris takes over from President Biden if she were to win these elections, an extremely important thought and strategic matter as far as the Indian administration is concerned. On the other hand, of course, the chemistry between former President Donald Trump and Narendra Modi is something that we've all seen, we've all spoken about, and that's in continuum. And Prime Minister Modi is taken very seriously in the United States, not just based on the fact that he's given an administration that has been voted into power for the 3rd time, even if though with a little lesser majority than the first 2 times. But the fact of the matter is that the American Indian diaspora holds the key in many, many constituencies, and Modi a poster boy for all of those American Indians, and Americans realize that. So whether it's Donald Trump or Kamala Harris, they're out to woo the American Indian community, trying to get them on their side. And in the middle of this election season in the United States, it is really extremely important that Prime Minister Modi visits here, brings together the Indian American diaspora, not just important for India, but important from an election perspective for the Americans as well. And who knows which side is going to benefit more out of, appealing to that Indian American constituency in the United States. And when Prime Minister Narendra Modi comes here, remember, every community present here, many of Gujarati origin, many of Punjabi origin, many from states in the south, whether it's Andhra, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. So it's a very, very diverse Indian diaspora that you see here. And Prime Minister, when he goes out to address them, is going to get a sense almost as if he's addressing a rally back home in India, because that's the level of adulation that has often been seen by Prime Minister Modi. But here on Times Square on a Sunday morning, trying to get you a sense of across America, where politics being the centerpiece of, Indians and the argumentative Indians, and politics being the centerpiece. Right now here in America, with elections just about 5 weeks away, and, everybody's talking electoral colleges, swing states, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, the 2 assassination attempts on President Donald Trump. And, that's the conversation. And in that space, the Indian Indian diaspora, the American Indian community, playing a very important point. You've seen that body language, and 15 to 20,000 of them waiting now for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address, and that's how their Sunday is special, and that's how we're looking at this entire visit on what it will impact the American elections for. Also important to tell you that after the bilateral meeting with President Joe Biden, it's important that India puts across its point in continuing relations. If the Democrat candidate Kamala Harris were to win these elections, the continuity will depend on how the transfer of power from Joe Biden to Kamala Harris takes place. And on the other hand, if it were to be former President Donald Trump coming back to White House, well, everybody knows the body language between Modi and Donald Trump. It's been a subject matter of huge, intense debate, as well as criticism from the opposition back home. But the fact of the matter is that that body language can play an important role as far as strategic thinking on how to handle China is concerned. And that's why the Quad meeting extremely important when Prime Minister met with the other three big world leaders, the heads of states of United States, Japan and Australia. But all eyes will also be on Prime Minister Modi for what is not yet confirmed but is sure to be a meeting between him and Donald Trump. What happens there? Many people saying, has Prime Minister picked a side? Well, administration here, close to Prime Minister Modi says certainly not. Bipartisan support is what India has in America, and relations will continue on both sides, whether it's the Republicans who win, that's Donald Trump, or whether it's the Democrats, if it's Kamala Harris. The fact that she's of Indian origin as well, has that in her bloodstream, is something that will keep India right on top, regardless of the views that she's held on Kashmir. Many people say that with confidence that India will be able to maintain its relations on both sides. But for now, of course, extremely important how Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses the Indian diaspora, and which side does he pick? Because Americans, and especially the candidates running in these elections, will be watching for those, a little bit of nudge and push if he were to make about one of the candidates. Well, not quite. Wouldn't be advisable, but who knows? We'll be watching out for that speech and what he says, especially as this is the first visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi post his victory in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. He would be exuding confidence. He would be trying to show that he's a man in control with the recent tough decisions taken back home. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be giving a sense of purpose to the Indian-American community here in the United States. But not just that, the message will also be meant for those back home. How much of it is for the opposition, we'll wait and watch.
Thank you, Navika, for getting us that insight and also getting us the best coverage from the US, from senators to Democrats to strategists to Republican voices. You're watching it here on Times Now, the most incisive coverage on ground.